Hey there, this is WeekRuined, and this is my first ever stream. I've got a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and I thought that I would start with just introducing kind of myself, and I'll talk about the topics that I want to talk about as well as. So yeah, it'll be kind of like a bit of a sandwich, a bit about me, a bit about topics, and a bit about me again, I suppose. So my channel is called WeekRuined. It's the way that I want it to be is kind of like spontaneous humor, quirky, but also a sprinkle of maybe a bit of internet drama mixed in there, and I think some news and also a bit of music. I do a lot of music stuff. I play guitar. I do synth stuff, that kind of thing. So, in case you're wondering, my accent is a West Yorkshire accent. So it might. My microphone's not set up properly. My room's a mess. All that kind of thing. So I might sound a bit wobbly and that kind of thing. But don't worry about that. I'm new to streaming completely. And the reason that I wanted to kind of stream today and just kind of start and just go head first into this, and kind of the reason that I've had the energy to go ahead and do this. I mean, for starters, I happen to have all the equipment needed to do this anyway. The nature of my work is technical, it involves code and that kind of thing. And my hobbies involve music, and these things go together. I happen to have a microphone. This is a Shure SM57. The quality is probably terrible because it's on full gain on a Focusrite Scarlett Solo amp. But yeah, I just thought I'd go for it. The internet's a bit of a strange place at the moment. What I mean by that is, for example, X, Twitter. What's going on there? I've been using Twitter for an extremely long time. I was a Facebook user before. Um, I was a MySpace user before Facebook. That's how old I am. And yeah, back then, Facebook looked very different, all that kind of thing. And it wasn't too long after that Twitter was this kind of, place where you could post short messages and that kind of thing. And now it's become X. So there's a lot of change going on there. Facebook isn't even really Facebook anymore, is it? It's Meta now, which is a whole different bloody kind of worms in it. And yeah, so these are the kind of things that I wanted to talk about. I also wanted to talk about. So I've been seeing these pop up in my shops, my local shops lately. I don't know if you've ever seen Prime by Logan Paul. I don't know if you know much about that guy, but he's kind of popped onto my radar lately with all this other internet kind of drama going on. There's Logan Paul right now, crypto zoo scam at this point, at this date of recording, um, August 2023. He still hasn't paid back the people that he scammed on crypto zoo, as I understand it, and that's why I've got the video up. That's I won't go through that much, if at all, today, but I'm just showing you that that's what I've been watching. So yeah, this guy's really good. He does a really good rundown. I recommend his videos. The old bomber, but yeah, he's fantastic, and I thought, I don't want to be completely biased. I can't just judge a man on what I've heard about him, so I got two flavors, and I'm gonna go ahead and just try one. I'm a bit of a sour man, so I'm gonna go with the lemon and lime first, and if I do another video tomorrow, I will drink the other one. Let's crack this open. I've heard these things have got tons of energy inside them, so yeah, the reason that I wanted to buy this and kind of talk about the internet and stuff like that is it's appearing in my shops, and that means that things are getting real, and I don't like it when things get real. So, Beast Burger never appeared in this part of the UK, and I've heard awful things about that. I think he's suing them now, and now this is kind of like permeating the area around me. And I thought, well, I like a good energy drink. I'm more of a sugar-free Red Bull person, but yeah, so I'm gonna give it a go. Why not? Bottoms up. Cheers. Damn, that's actually really good. It's got a It's got a nostalgic taste. It tastes kind of like the lime that you would get in, one of those cheap ice pops that you would get from the corner shop. Kind of like a light lime, but I'm a little bit dubious about this because I know that this has got a lot of energy, a lot of sugar. In fact, I think it's actually being scrutinized and might be banned soon. So that's another reason that I wanted to get this out of the way and go ahead and try it. So Logan Paul, is the same guy that. So there's the Paul brothers. There's Jake and Logan, and the prime guy, which I believe is Logan. He is the guy from the Japan suicide hanging video where he took a selfie, next to some guy that was hanging from a tree and he was dead. So that's not cool. Don't agree with that. But at the time that happened, 2017, I was just about to get married, and I was working in probably it was about 3 jobs ago for me actually because I've been hopping around, and I actually heard it on English radio at the time. We were listening to digital radio in the office, and that came on. It was I think it was just shortly after the PewDiePie incident where he'd done the Fiverr challenge, where he'd gotten some guys on Fiverr to put up a anti-Semitic flag, which I like PewDiePie. I think it's hilarious. I think that he shouldn't have done that, but I can't help but admit that I laughed. It's amazing and shocking, and I like shock humor. British. I like slapstick comedy, that kind of thing, and from what I can tell, he's a decent guy. So I'm just gonna, enjoy it, and it's not me that's getting into trouble. So why not enjoy it? Even though it's wrong and we shouldn't be doing things like that. It happened, and that just happened. So that's kind of how I felt. So yeah, the Logan Paul thing comes along shortly afterwards, and he's obviously in loads of trouble. Makes the legendary apology videos, which I think are absolute bollocks, and I wish people would stop making them. So another thing in terms of apology videos that's going on at the moment is so we've got Super Mega. They're like a couple of guys that I'm a huge fan of. Um, they're under scrutiny at the moment because apparently there was a lady, I believe she's called Meg, that was assaulted by a guy who I won't name, because I think that with that whole drama, it's important to kind of scope to the things that are relevant to me. People are kind of associating Super Mega with this assault case, and they're associated by way that they employed somebody who was involved in that. And I think that it's a bit harsh to treat them like people who enabled or took part in that. And the fact of the matter is that they're not. Maybe they could have handled it better, but I think that they're nice people. They probably didn't quite know what to do. They're younger than me, and I'm familiar with people that have been assaulted, and also people that have taken their own lives and things like that. And the reality is that we're not perfect. We don't know what to do in those situations, and sometimes we act in a way that is selfish, is thinking about ourselves. Even if you tell somebody, all the things that they want to hear in a way that comforts them, sometimes we're just doing that for ourselves rather than for them in the first place. And sometimes if we do the opposite, sometimes, we're trying to help someone and help, maybe doing something that seems like it's not helping them might actually help them more than they know. But in the end, what's important is the outcome at the end, not, how we handle going into these situations. So at this time of recording, it's the 8th of August today. Super Mega are on hiatus. They've taken some time off, and I'm just waiting for them to come back. And that is another reason that the internet is on fire at the moment, for me anyway, from my perspective. And yeah, the next reason that the internet is on fire is obviously Twitter and becoming X. So I think that changed over just last week at this time of recording. Nobody likes X. There are a lot of rumors about why he's doing it. Elon Musk apparently chose X when he was at PayPal, and nobody agreed with it then either. I do think that X is a really stupid name for a social media platform. It doesn't describe anything. If anything, X to me is usually used to. In math, it's used to describe something that can change in algebra. It's a variable. Often you have, x plus y equals z, all that kind of thing, z here. Um, I think that with that in mind, I get that he wants Twitter to be an everything platform, but it suggests that it's going to be changing without, it's not, the name doesn't have much meta information about it at all. It doesn't tell you anything about, what the website is. And I think that that's going to put people off. I think that people liked Twitter in the first place because it had a focus and its short messages, allowed people to really focus their messages and think about what they wanted to say and make statements that were condensed and said a lot in fewer words. So that is very confusing. And I suppose that's a segue to the company Meta, which Meta is also an awful name. The word Meta is not Meta. I think that Facebook tells you more about what you know the Facebook website is. I know that Meta is kind of encompasses Facebook, but there's a reason that they chose to stick with Facebook as the branding, and it's not Meta. And the metaverse was a complete failure as well. To me, VR is still best experienced in things like No Man's Sky, VR Chat, Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings, Elder Scrolls, that kind of thing. A lot of those I think are the best way to experience VR, and the social meta, it's got nothing on VR Chat. VR Chat's awesome. I love some of the content, like James Ski and that kind of thing. Really, it's kind of cringe humor, but with all the like custom avatars and that kind of thing. But I really think that that's kind of, if we can clean up the dirty kind of crap out there, and I think that that's more the kind of space that people imagine talking to each other and being social on VR. That's kind of what they would imagine that would be like. So, and this is actually really good. My cat's coming in the room, so just in case you hear some scratching, Calla, she's just hanging around. So, yeah, there's kind of a lot going on the internet, and I thought I kind of just wanted to be part of the conversation, kind of start, just kind of commenting. I want to keep things positive, and I like to be neutral. I'm not offensive, or I do take sides, but at the same time, I don't instantly, do that. I do like to, see both sides of any story, and I don't want my kind of channel to be all drama or anything like that. I want to talk about exciting things. So, another thing that's going on at the moment is ChatGPT recently blew up. Most of this year has been people playing around with that. It comes into use at my work. It's not quite there yet. It's useful for, in code doing things like, make a loop that counts from 1 to 10 using PHP or JavaScript, for example, and it can do that. And that can be a very, useful way of kind of instantly getting the syntax for that. But recently I've tried to have it do some CSS for me, and it's just tried to give me rules that simply don't work. So, there's a couple of things that it just isn't ready for. And I also don't think it's true AI. It's simply AI being used in the sense that it's a tool that can help you. It's still, it takes input and produces output based on a prompt. It's not, and it's one prompt at a time. It's there's a lot going on there that is really useful, but it's not proper AI. So people that worry about it, I think, have absolutely nothing to worry about. Maybe the applications of it could be something to worry about. So I've been using Midjourney. That's fantastic, and I think that people's likeness and that kind of thing being used, that's going to come into more questions soon. I think that there's going to be more rules and cracking down on that. And transformative content, I suppose, was one of the things that I really wanted to talk about. So there's a lot going on with. I think yesterday I just heard Ethan Klein H3's argument with XQC about whether he really feels that his content is transformative. I think that Ethan's got some really good points, and I've been following the guy for a long time. Since the old original YouTube channel, and the Vape Nation days, that kind of thing. I think that XQC didn't really have anything to say. That he didn't really fight his corner very well. Um, Sniper Wolf versus Jack's Films again. Sniper Wolf's kind of like more of a newcomer. Jack's Films goes way back. I've been following him for ages. I think since I was still at university, so years ago, like over a decade ago, I think. And yeah, he's a really nice guy. I can't see why he would do an attack without a good reason. When you've spent enough time watching a YouTube channel, it's important to kind of keep an eye on them. Make sure that if you think that they're going down a dark path, you can call them out. But I think that there's an element of trust that's gained after following somebody for so long that you can kind of start to trust them. And I think that if it came to it, and I were asked, what do you think about, Jack's Film's opinion? Like, I generally assumed that, he would be right before, giving, the whole thing, whatever it is, a debate or anything, a chance. I would just, think straight away, well, I've been watching that guy for so long, like, I'm going to go into this thinking it's probably going to be, him that's generally right or has a good point or whatever. But I'm still going to find out, what's going on there. Why is he doing what he's doing? And is he wrong? Have they changed? Have they become jaded? Are they the same that they were, all that time ago? And I think it's important to talk about that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to get more into talking about. I'm also gonna maybe do some beats, some sick beats, some fresh tunes. Got my synth set up here. I'm into modular, I'm into keyboards, that kind of thing. Got my Ibanez guitar over there. Started using Neural DSP as an amplifier for that, which is fantastic. And yeah, the synth stuff I do, I like to do synthwave and darkwave. So that's kind of like my, edgy kind of thing. So that'll be fun. And yeah, the third thing that I would like to do is I also enjoy video gaming. So I'm currently streaming No Man's Sky on PSVR. So I do have a PS5, but I'm currently streaming the PS4 version because I've got the first version of the PSVR still. I don't have the PSVR 2 just yet. God, I would love to have that because as soon as you get that, you're using the PS5 version of the game. You're using a higher resolution VR headset. It's all just better. But for now, I'm stuck with the blurry one. So yeah, I streamed Divinity Original Sin 2 before that, but it's not that popular, and I can't see the streaming stuff really going anywhere. But maybe if I start doing more of a variety of content. Maybe people might stick around. That'd be nice. It's fine if they don't. This isn't my main job or anything like that. I'm just going to do this for an hour or so. After work, that kind of thing. I'm going to be on UK time, but I'm going to upload the highlights to YouTube anyway, just in case. And yeah, that should be good. So the last thing I'll do is I'll tell you a little bit more about me as well. A bit more prime because man, this stuff is actually pretty good, and it's getting me hyper. It's getting me. I've just finished 9 hours of work, and I normally wouldn't have the energy to do this kind of thing, but this might be giving me a second wind, I suppose. Yeah, so I've got cats. They'll probably pop up every now and again. One of them's just down there watching me. She's waiting for me to feed her, I think, so I'll be doing that shortly. I have a lizard as well. Got a leopard gecko, and shout out to the leopard gecko channel because she kind of told me everything I know about them. She's really cool. And yeah, so I've got pets. the West Yorkshire, it's been really warm lately, but June was awful. Last July was a new record. It's been a bit tamer this year, but it's still kind of like sweaty weather. So, that's what the sunglasses are for and that kind of thing. And it's just the look that I wanted to go for as well. I want to do this whole, like, Daredevil Charlie Cox type thing. Probably don't look anything like him, but, sunglasses are sunglasses. So, yeah, you can't see my eyes right now. Ha, they're mine. That's something I get to keep. I've got a couple of friends that I could probably, bring on and have a good old chin wag with. We like to do a bit of crass humor, a bit of, guy type humor, that kind of thing. Some of the YouTube channels that I watch, I like Comics Explained. I mentioned James Ski. I like the Misfits crowd, Swagger Souls, that kind of thing. Even though they can be a bit much sometimes, but they can stick around. PewDiePie's kind of retired now, but I watched him for a while. Who else? Jax Films, yeah, and him and his wife are really really funny. I absolutely love those two, and yeah, the Super Mega Guys, Game Grumps, love all that kind of thing. I've been listening to Ninja Sex Party for a long time as well, so yeah, absolutely love that. A lot of those guys kind of know each other, and there's a lot of crossover and all that kind of thing going on, and I absolutely love that. So yeah, the internet is, well, this isn't the real internet. The real internet isn't just browsers and videos and that kind of thing. The internet is, well, when I was a kid, it was like forums, just like bulletin boards and stuff like that. But the web at the moment is kind of a mixed bag, and I want to get in on that a bit, and I want to maybe shake things up, talk a little bit, get something going maybe, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to leave it at that for today. If I do another video, I think that the next one I'm going to do is a specific. I'm going to watch the video of Ethan Klein and XQC debating. I thought that it's really really funny. It's nice to see Ethan get a bit triggered and pissed off. And XQC. He was also a bit of a goofball in his own way. I've got nothing against the guy. I'm more of an Ethan guy, but like Ethan and Hilo just because of how far back I go and that kind of thing. XQC. I'm sure there's nothing going on there, but I'm aware that it's accused of being non-transformative content. Like Sniper Wolf. So I'd like to talk more about what that means and that kind of thing. So it's like this stream right now. I mean, is this transformative? I never ended up playing the YouTube video, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just using my laptop camera. I'm using a Shure SM58 microphone, but you know, this is technically transformative. I'm not just reacting to something going, oh, 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 or whatever it is that XQC does, and Sniper Wolf, like, oh my god, and that kind of thing, It's, I don't want to do that, but if that is what people do nowadays, I'd like to talk about that and find out why. And if the rules change, which they do every so often, with the adpocalypse, for example, and all that kind of stuff, copyright claims, striking, all that stuff. I find that stuff fascinating, and I like to talk about that stuff. And I'm not here to make money, and I don't care about that kind of thing. It doesn't matter to me, if I ever make anything. I've got a job already, and I have whatever I need in life. The basics are enough for me, as they say. Especially here in Yorkshire, where there's not a lot to gain anyway. Even with money, people usually just spend it on material possessions and that kind of thing. So to me, people that are kind of making a lot of money, like Sniper Wolf and that kind of thing, I'm completely indifferent to it. So I'm just interested in how it works and that kind of thing, and whether it's harming other people or not, and maybe it's not harming anyone. Maybe there really are ways to make some dosh without actually doing much. But I'm not going to decide whether I think that they're truly doing not a lot for now, because I don't know enough. And obviously, if I made a video based solely on that topic, I'd have more facts, and I'd do my research and that kind of thing, and I'd actually have a video playing in front of you that I'm gonna actually talk about. So yeah, I think So next one would be yeah, Ethan XQC, and I'll probably do a bit of Jack's films versus Sniper Wolf as well, because they're both essentially really similar topics, and they're both intertwined as well. So the H3 podcast did actually watch the Jack's films video on one of the recent episodes, so I can see there's some crossover there as well that maybe not everybody knows about if they're familiar with one and not the other. So that could be really interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now, and thank you very much for listening. So yeah, bye bye.